So on Reformed worship, what's distinctive about it is that it tries to use only the Bible and not traditions or human wisdom for how to worship aright. Now that leaves Presbyterians in a position, since the Bible doesn't give an order of worship, that leaves some wiggle room for how you're going to execute. We're only going to follow the Bible in worship. So there's going to be some creativity that Presbyterians may have, and I think I would prefer for Presbyterians to have more a sense of we're going to follow the same order of worship, even though Presbyterians have been very reluctant to have a top-down General Assembly, even though we have a directory for worship. We've wanted to give congregations great leeway in how they execute the directory. And I think this has hurt Presbyterians at times where you can go into different Presbyterian churches and have a different kind of service. Different order, yes, but even different tone to it as well. So, but there is a seriousness that did characterize Presbyterian worship because of the trying to follow God's word, also part of the reason for trying to follow God's word is to avoid doing anything that would offend God or would be objectionable. I mean, there are all sorts of examples throughout the Bible, especially the Old Testament, of people offending God with bad worship or false worship. So Presbyterians are particularly eager not to engage in false worship. And that's what the regular principle tries to do. Positively, what that has meant for Presbyterians has been harder to execute. If you go to even Presbyterian services in Scotland compared to Ireland, compared to Canada, compared to America, even though they may be conservative churches, they may be following different kinds of patterns, unlike, say, Lutherans or Anglicans, where you might have greater uniformity because they're either using a prayer book or they're using a service book in the case of Lutherans. So that is something I think actually Presbyterians still need to work on. But the idea of God as a consuming fire, and we need to approach him with reverence and awe from Hebrews 12, I think is characterized Christians throughout all times, but Presbyterians have made it particularly important.